Up next here at Copa Elite, in your next match, it's Sam Kilmer.
Sam Kilmer again returning, victorious in his first match by, I think, a quick heel hook, Zach?
Yep. Sam, in that first match, had grabbed a single leg and then opted to drop into single leg X and was able to finish the leg lock submission. I think it was an Achilles lock off of that, or heel hook off of that initial position. Really smart jiu-jitsu from Sam in that
really
first
well
match.
Played. And again, he got out of there early, so he's probably not going to be dealing with a whole lot of
his
fatigue.
opponent, Diallo Braithwaite.
On the other end of the spectrum, we have Diallo coming out here who, if you'll remember, had a match against a much heavier opponent. So we might see Diallo a little bit more fatigued than Sam is coming in here.
Well, we also saw Diallo go the full 10 minutes versus a heavier opponent.
Absolutely.
Visibly sweaty and, breathing heavy towards the end of that match. So that could play a big factor.
Granted, Diallo was still throwing submissions at the end of that match, so he clearly had some left in his tank. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out in this second match for each of these guys, this semifinal match here.
I'm curious to see, given the heavy pressure wrestling of Sam, if we're going to see Diallo pull early, elect to not try to fight for the 2 points, work his guard like we saw him work the butterfly guard in that last match, how we're going to see Kilmer deal with that.
I think that would be a bright strategy for Diallo in this case. Action's underway. Diallo's got a blue stripe on his rash guard and absolutely does pull guard right away. Does not want to deal with that wrestling.
Yeah, that's tactically a good decision here. Again, playing heavy on the head. Kilmer is going to lean real heavy into that knee, looking for the outside pass, potentially looking to get his hips mobile and get around Diallo's guard there.
Sam playing a headquarters position here with one leg very, very strongly extended, trying to keep a lot of weight in that knee that he's playing into Diallo's hips.
Yeah, if you keep that leg really extended, it makes it much harder to get underneath you to start to sweep, and so it will keep you on top. Again, given the wrestling credentials of Sam, that's probably a strategy that keeps him on top more so than not. But Diallo's doing a good job fencing his hands in, looking to turn Sam over and looking to get the a heavier underhook to pull Sam into his game to re-square him up.
Sam keeping that outside angle throughout this process, though, which stops Diallo from really getting that underhook.
Yeah, doing a really good job there.
Diallo doing a nice job framing out, preventing Sam from really pressuring in the way that he wants to. So these two guys are playing off of each other really well in this particular case.
Yeah, Diallo is sliding the low set foot.
Sam does a nice job changing directions on Diallo there.
But Diallo does a great job going to turtle there to not give the points up, although he does extend his back, and then Sam is going to try to take the back here.
Sam locking in the hooks. He has his feet crossed here a little bit, settles in the hooks, gets his 4 points.
And then immediately goes to the inside body triangle. We're seeing a lot of guys that elect to play for the inside body triangle because it does a really effective job of controlling that hip, where the outside body triangle sometimes guys can spin, especially guys as mobile as Diallo will tend to spin their hips through if you're in the outside body triangle. So Sam electing to play for that inside body triangle may give him more control, although he now does go for the outside body triangle.
And now it's important that you keep in mind that those two are interchangeable. You can switch back and forth between them depending on what you need, and that's exactly what Sam's doing. In this particular case, though, Diallo has laid his weight over into the lock leg of this body triangle, which is the side that he wants to be on to try to start escaping. Now, it's not an easy escape still, but Diallo's in a position where he might be able to get out of this body lock triangle, or body triangle, by continuing to roll in that direction.
Yeah, again, there's still more than 7.5 minutes left in this match. There's a lot to go. Sam's looking for the choke, but he seems to be more concerned with maintaining the position here. We've seen Sam try to crawl his legs up to trap the arms of Diallo a few times here. I'm curious to see if that's going to be the strategy that he continues to implement, or if he's just going to go right over the face here.
And Sam's doing a nice job just swimming his arms back and forth across Diallo's face. That's tiring. It's frustrating. You're trying to deal with the body triangle. It's really a psychological game at that point. And Sam's doing a nice job playing that game.
Absolutely. Again, that heavy inside body triangle. Diallo's trying to get his hips outside, but Sam is a little bit square, potentially leaving him available to fight either for the choke or for that arm. He's trying to push down the arm of Diallo and crawl his leg up over top of it to prevent Diallo from being able to fight the choke with that arm if it's trapped by Sam's leg.
And Diallo's doing a nice job here, putting all of his weight into that lock leg. And what that's going to do is it's going to prevent Sam from using that bottom leg to maintain that body triangle position. And as you can see, Sam's body triangle is unlocked at this point because Diallo's been able to put a lot of weight down into that bottom leg. And he's starting to try to scoot his hips out, but he's got to watch that choke on the same time.
The other thing that it stops him from being able to trap the arm like he was doing previously. They're called a fight at the wrists from the corner here.
Sam creeping up across Diallo's body with this. I'm not 100% sure what he's looking for there, but he is maintaining the position at the very least.
Yeah, I think he's trying to pull him back onto him so he can re-square the bottom leg and kind of almost retake the back there. Because his knee is so high up, it's difficult to push it back in at this position, and so Kilmer can kind of use the hips and the mobility that he has there in order to re-square the back.
But Diallo's doing a nice job using that arm inside his hip to prevent...
Going arm and guillotine here. Very, very deep. Switches that to a Darce. Extremely deep. Walking around. Going to try to trap the outside arm.
Stabilizing this Darce position, and he
gets
finishes. Wonderful finish there. Really nice, patient jiu-jitsu from Sam on top. You know, he had an opportunity there to really try to force the choke and potentially lose the position. He stabilized the position. He maintained that position for a nice period of time.
Sam Kilmer!
Really good jiu-jitsu and really thoughtful in the way that he set that up. Again, most times when guys sit to the guard, it's a big gamble that don't necessarily work out in your favor a lot of times.